And we're live.
Hey, welcome everybody. Yeah, Todd and Adam are sitting next to each other in California. Todd flew out Friday night. We had a keynote yesterday morning, and then a conference, and then my school's auction last night. And I was about a month ago. I said, "Hey, let's plan this, and we can do it together." So we are here in California, in my house, doing it together. Welcome back, everyone. Episode 17 of Kids Deserve It. We hope you've been enjoying our weekly chats with game changers and educators from around the country. In case you didn't know, we are now on iTunes, which is really awesome. So you can subscribe and listen to our weekly show on iTunes. My name is Adam, like I said, elementary principal in Danville, California.
My name's Todd. I'm the elementary principal in Navasota, Texas. And our guest this week, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I am Principal L in Wilmington, Delaware. So my question to you guys is, whose house?
Adam's house.
Adam's house today. Glad to be here. Sorry about all of the issues a few weeks ago, but like I said earlier, persistence overcomes resistance.
Hey, worth the wait. Worth the
Yeah,
wait.
we're excited to have you here today.
Yes, sir.
So we also want to remind our viewers who are watching to participate in the chat alongside, as well as share out great things that you are listening to and learning about on Twitter using the hashtag KidsDeserveIt, because we know some of our viewers will be listening later on iTunes.
So we have a few questions for you, El. So for those who don't know who you are, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm a K-8 principal in Wilmington, Delaware. I got a school in inner city Wilmington, 750 kids, high poverty, but every day we're elevating and educating all of our kids to attend the best high schools and colleges. That's the goal, trying to get more males involved. I'm the one of 8 children raised by a single parent, the only one to go to college. But my mother knew the importance of teachers, talked to my 3rd grade teacher. I remember her often talking about this young white female in our community that was not from our community, but was saving Private Ryan every day. And she helped me along with my 4th grade teacher, an older African-American female who had been at our school about 30 or 40 years. We thought she came with the building, and helped me go on to high school and become a teacher and give back. And that's basically where I am right now.
Well, what makes you pumped to be at work every day?
That's an excellent question. I think it's the kids. It's knowing that, they're knowing that there are guys like you out there who have taken up this battle, who are in this fight, knowing that I won't be around forever, and seeing those young teachers who walk in there and who are able to say to a kid that I loved you before I ever met you. That's a powerful statement for an educator to be able to make. And I think that's what keeps me going, is knowing that I have a belief in humanity, that it's all the crazy things that are going on in the world and in our country, that there are educators, the most noble servants in the world, who walk into schools every day and are changing lives for kids. And that's what keeps me going. Leadership is about service. If you don't serve, you can't lead. And I'm learning that from Adam right now. Reading the kids, man. That's a game changer.
Oh man, that is my favorite thing to do as a principal. Hands down, they love it. Literacy is huge, El.
Right, and to hear a man reading, you know what I mean? It breaks down so many barriers and stereotypes that it's encouraging, it's empowering to see what you guys are doing, but also that you're spreading the gospel. I'm looking at all of the people who are subscribing, and I see Craig is on it like, yeah, we can hear him this week, so that's great. But it's a blessing. It's a blessing, guys. It really is.
Hey, so what's your biggest challenge that you face as a principal, El?
My biggest challenge, I think, is getting parents to understand how powerful the influence is. And I'm a parent myself, like I told you on Twitter. Being a dad, I mean, it's a great responsibility. And those kids look like they have you wrapped around their fingers, so you'll be in trouble. But it is, just being able to teach our children. When I started learning about the growth mindset and how we have to be careful how we communicate with our children, even my own kids at home, understanding that children who don't learn to take accountability and responsibility for their actions are children that grow up to become adults who don't think they do anything wrong. And I encounter too many of those adults now, so my goal is to change them at a young age. So, I'm not bashing parents because I know it's a tough job, struggling myself. But I think that my biggest challenge is being able to get just adults in the world to understand that we truly have a powerful influence on our young people. And that's our responsibility to build great schools and great communities that parents and children want to be in, not be out of.
Well, you may have kind of already answered this, but if you had one wish for education in general, what would that wish be?
Wow, one wish. That's a tough one. But I guess it would be for everybody involved with working with young people to all come together and begin to work together and believe. If we can shift sort of this mindset and belief system that intelligence crosses all racial lines, it crosses all economic lines. If we could all come together as a community and truly believe, not just say it, but believe that our children can be successful and will be as long as we don't give up, I think we can overcome. There'll always be obstacles from the federal government and the state and everywhere else. But if we as a unit come together and decide and say, listen, there will be nothing about us without us, that we have to be involved and active and believing in our children, I think we can make a big difference.
Yeah, so El, I just tweeted out your link, your GoFundMe for chess. I donated to your school a couple of weeks ago because I want to get those kids to that chess championship. And tell us a little bit about chess at your school and what you do with that.
And I really appreciate that. Chess for me is a great equalizer because I have young ladies in my school. I have young men in my school who will never be the fastest athlete, never be 6'4", never be the most popular kid. But these are kids who will sit down across the chessboard from anybody, young person or adult, and will checkmate them in the minimum amount of moves. And chess teaches kids to critically think, to problem solve, to deal with consequences. So it's a great teaching tool. And for my young people, and chess is always something that's reserved for the affluent and those who have access. But for our young people, they just go out and do what they need to do. These are kids that are in 2014 were runner-ups. These are elementary kids were runner-ups for the junior high championship in Atlanta. And then a month later in Dallas, Texas, won the elementary championship.
That's great.
I have a young lady right now who was recognized as one of the top 50 12-year-old girls in United States, Mexico, and Canada.
Wow.
She's unreal. And so it gives students opportunity to be able to show what they can do with their mind, but it's also a great opportunity for them to travel. Students have been to San Diego, Atlanta, New York. They're going to Indiana, with the help of these folks on Twitter who have been Facebook, who have been so helpful. But there's exposure too, because there's a large achievement gap, but there's also a major exposure gap. So it's great on all levels for our young people.
Well, El, I know that you also, and I've chatted with you before, so I know this story, but I know you talk a lot often about your upbringing and the impact that teachers had on you, and some in particular, and your mother. Can you kind of talk to our viewers about kind of how your upbringing led to where you are today?
I mentioned earlier how I had these two elementary teachers who helped me get into a middle school for magnet kids and knew I would struggle. My mother struggled. But I went on to high school and, started playing high school basketball and thought I could skip college and go to the NBA. And, my teachers, again, cornered me and said, son, you're not going to the NBA. I said, why would you say something like that to one of your students? They said, because we've seen you play basketball. They said, boy, you can't jump over a credit card, But they said, but you're not going to the NBA, but you're smart enough to get an MBA. Why don't you go away to college and come back and help the same community that supported you and supported your family? And those same teachers, when I started working in television and they invited me to come and speak to some high school kids at a career day and about my job in sports TV. And some of the kids said to me, if you can come in and motivate us, how come you aren't a teacher, Mr. L? And it changed my life because I thought that, wow, I could really be making a difference like this every day, and quit my TV job and never look back and started teaching and realized that, we truly make a difference for our young people if we can be there for them every day.
Nice. So, Ellie, you're connected on social media with many, many people, but who inspires you and who challenges you to be better?
There are a large number of people who who inspire me. There's so many, and the thing is, I'm gonna start naming people, and they'll get upset when I don't name some. But Todd Whitaker is so inspirational. Rudy Cafelli. I always talk about my folks in Texas. Texas is like my second home. My wife's starting to check on me every time I go to Texas. She asked me if our post lady had a Texas license plate. But there's just so many people out there. Shelly is so inspirational. Shelly Terrell. There are just some great folks out there in the world who are doing wonderful things for our young people and teaching us. The Sat Chat crew, the Sun Chat crew. Mm-hmm. There's so many, and I think that the most important thing for me is that I've been able to develop this social reach through these people who have sort of taught me how powerful technology can be. And I think that's probably a large shift that I know I need to move in my community, but also on the national levels. That we really need to teach educators and support them around embracing the positives of technology and developing these networks. People say, how can you call a Facebook friend a friend? Yeah, that's the power of technology, because 5 or 10 years ago, we would have doubted that. But there's so many connections we make, through that. So I have a large inspirational community, and I learn more from those folks than they learn from me.
That's right.
And it's funny that you talk about the social media and how can you really know people. I mean, that's exactly how Adam and I met. And now we're at his family's house with his kids.
Really?
Together, but
my kids were jumping on him and kicking his butt yesterday. My 3-year-old, he's like, "Let's wrestle!" Jumping on.
But you guys met on social media.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And then we met face to face in July at the National Principal Conference. So, and it's been history since then.
We got a book coming out, and you name it. So,
yep.
Make sure I get a copy.
Oh, of course.
Signed copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, sign that for me. I want to make sure I promote it for you too, because I think what I've learned from social media as well is that there's a large community of people who are comfortable with celebrating the success of other people. And I think that's what we do for one another. And we have to lift each other up and understand that when you make it, there's so many others. That when that positive what's the title of the book? You got a title yet?
Kids Deserve It.
Yeah, I need my sweatshirt and my t-shirt too. I know I missed the deadline. I'll pay the late fees and all that other stuff.
Do you have a bracelet, L? Do you have your bracelet?
No, I need the whole gift pack.
We will send you a whole gift package.
We got you, L. We got you.
Yeah. Kids deserve it, man. And when somebody asks about why do you teach, I never really had a response. When I first started teaching, because I went to this top magnet school in Philly, and my first teaching job, I had a senior teacher asked me when I walked in my first day and said, "Wow, you attended the Masterman School. Why'd you become a teacher?" Can you imagine somebody saying that to me?
Yeah.
You know what I would say to that guy? And this was almost 30 years ago. You know what I would say to him today? Because kids deserve it.
Yes.
Bring it,
L.
I had no response at that time, right? But that's exactly what I would say. And that's what I say every day, man, because they do. Yep. They deserve the best. They deserve people who are willing to take the shirt off their back. And I know that you guys have done that. And I know you will. I was telling Ty, I was so impressed with all these men that are coming into his school for these kids. There's so many young people who don't even know that they're named after their fathers.
Yep.
People don't realize how much these young people struggle with this. And so when we can get men involved, women have been carrying education for over 200 years. They've held our community together. Mm-hmm. It's time for men to step up.
Right.
And men can step up when men like you are role models and examples, for that, reading the kids and telling guys how important it is to come. Some of these children go 10 to 15 years and never sit at a dinner table and have a meal with a positive meal. You're about to change that, sir. That's positive.
Well, El, we love talking to you, and I just want to say thank you so much for coming on and giving us some of your time twice. But I'm glad we got it this time, and I love every chance to sit down and just hear from you, and just I get inspired every time. So thank you for coming on today.
No, thank you, man, and let's stop praying for a lighter load and start praying for a stronger back, because you guys have raised the bar, and I'm with you all the way, sir.
Well, thanks, El.
Take care. Be safe.
Thank you, everyone. Next week, we have Clara Galan on the show, formerly with Edutopia, Remind, and now with Amazon Education. Keep using the hashtag Kids Deserve It and tweet us at Kids Deserve It. Have a great week, everyone. Thanks again, El. You rock it, man. You rock it.
Teamwork makes the dream work, guys. Keep up the good work. Peace.